Hello viewers, welcome to the latest video of our travels. After a 16-hour flight from Los Angeles, we found ourselves in Australia, in the southern state of Victoria. We're having a little stay with my cousin in the capital city of Victoria called Melbourne. My cousin picked us up from the airport and we headed to a beautiful home about an hour down the Mornington Peninsula. This is our first time to Australia, and as you can imagine from the title of this video, we really didn't know what to expect. As we drove from the airport, we were in awe at the beauty of this modern city and the highways that would make America proud. Take a look at this home. This is absolutely gorgeous. And we go into the house. Beautiful home. A nice open kitchen. Beautiful living room with a wood stove for winter. And take a look at this, there's even a home theatre with surround sound. Australia is about getting outside and enjoying the space and the flora and fauna. The back deck here is like a kitchen and dining room and a bar. A beautiful area to just sit out and enjoy the end of an Australian summer.
Now this is the Aussie barbecue food. And you've got to come over, and have a look and say, he's overcooking it.
Yeah.
And then when he walks away, we'll grab a tongs and we'll flip it for him. And then he will take and give it back. Unless it's Coxie, then he goes, don't touch my steak. Don't touch my steak. You flipped me steak, didn't you? You done it. I knew you did it. No, you did. No, you put the oil. Don't you say you never put that oil? No, you put that oil. Yes, you done it.
At night time it gets very dark, but the stars in the sky are so clear and beautiful. We would come out late in the evening to look at the possums and to feed them. We'd need a flashlight of course, but the possums were fun to feed. One evening I heard a rustling in the bushes. It was something big and it was coming towards us. I've heard so much about the strange Australian wildlife, I wasn't hanging around to find out. I made a hasty retreat to the patio, only to discover that it was Nala, the family dog. She'd been out in the bushes looking for possums too. My mate Darren has an aviary in the backyard with budgies and cockatiels. Cockatiels are smaller than cockatoos. These are cockatoos, and that's all I'm saying about that. Our first day out we took it quite steady because the jet lag is pretty rough. I honestly didn't know what time of day it was. I was all out of whack. So we headed out to the Abbey Lake Vineyard in the northern part of the peninsula. Many people poo-poo Australian table wines, and this is a pity as many fine Australian wines appeal not only to the Australian palate but also the cognoscenti of Great Britain, where I'm from originally. The Abbey Lake Vineyard is definitely worth a visit. The wine is superb and the vintner who served us was very knowledgeable and entertaining.
So for me this is a little bit longer on the palate. It's definitely a more grown-up wine. The conversation turns from sassy, sexy stuff to a little bit more grown-up, lovely adult conversation. We talk about problems in the world.
It was perfect to sit out with a glass of Black Stump Bordeaux and enjoy being with family in Australia. Our next trip was out along the Great Ocean Road. That's where we saw our first real kangaroos in their natural environment on the golf course. The Great Ocean Road is a 151-mile stretch of coastal highway in Victoria. It's actually a war memorial built by soldiers who had returned after World War I. This is a must-see for its historic significance and the beautiful scenery, particularly the 12 Apostles. The road winds along the coastline and is quite a feat of engineering, considering what construction equipment was available in 1918. Here we see black and white people living together in perfect harmony, side by side on pianos. That's it. Very good. The 12 Apostles are a group of limestone stacks off the shore of Port Campbell National Park, just off the Great Ocean Road. There are only 7 of the stacks remaining. On the 2nd of March 1878, the clipper Loch Ard left Gravesend in England and headed for Melbourne under the command of Captain George Gibb. The ship carried 36 crew and 18 passengers plus cargo. This route was known as the Great Circle Route, and this shore became known as Shipwreck Coast. At 4 a.m. on June the 1st, after 3 months at sea, the fog lifted, revealing high, pale cliffs. The wind and the currents carried the ship into the cliffs where she sank. Only 2 people survived and made it to this beach. The Moonlit Sanctuary is located at the northern top of the Mornington Peninsula and is definitely worth going to. It opens at 9:30 and you really do want to get there early before the crowds arrive. You can get up close and personal with koalas and feed kangaroos and wallabies. You also get to see wombats, dingoes and many other animals. Point Nepean National Park is on the southern tip of the peninsula at the entrance to Port Phillip. It is part of the Aboriginal cultural landscape in the traditional country of the Boonwurrung people. The history of Point Nepean spans back thousands of years to the Boonwurrung people and has also played an important role in shaping the early European settlement being used to quarantine people arriving in Victoria. It was now time to leave my cousin's home and head to downtown Melbourne to have a couple of days and nights at their downtown apartment. The views of the city and the harbour were spectacular.
Your bags are in your room.
Oh, thank you.
First room with the ensuite.
After unpacking, we headed out to the Eureka Tower to see the Melbourne Sky Deck on the 88th floor. This is the Southern Hemisphere's highest observation deck. The Eureka Tower is named after the Eureka Stockade, a rebellion during the Victorian Gold Rush in 1854. The top 10 floors are plated with 24-carat gold to represent the Victorian Gold Rush. Before heading down to Australia, I binge-watched the Crocodile Dundee movies to get myself up to speed with Australian etiquette. So when I got on the city tram, I acknowledged everyone on board and introduced myself and mentioned where I was from. Oddly though, they all looked down at their feet and avoided eye contact. I reckon that Mick Dundee is full of it. The State Library of Victoria was established in 1854, making it Australia's oldest public library and one of the first free libraries in the world. It's also Australia's busiest public library and the third busiest library globally. The Old Melbourne Jail is a former jail and now a museum. It was first started in 1839 and was used as a prison between 1845 and 1924. It held and executed some of Australia's most notorious criminals, including Ned Kelly. In total, 133 people were executed by hanging. We did the full tour complete with simulated arrest and mugshots. It was a little unnerving as the police officer played his role very well. This is the gallows where Ned Kelly was hanged. After that sobering experience, a visit to St. Paul's Cathedral seemed fitting. This is one of Melbourne's major architectural landmarks and was completed in 1891. It's an Anglican cathedral of the Diocese of Melbourne and the seat of the Archbishop of Melbourne. Time for some refreshments with the gang on the Yarra River. Melbourne is a beautiful city. The people are warm and friendly and have a wonderful sense of humour. 9 days in Melbourne just wasn't enough. There's so much to see and do. Not to mention the whole of Australia that's just slightly smaller than the USA. This is a beautiful country and we can't wait to come back. A very big thank you to my cousin Helen and her husband Darren for being gracious hosts and tour guides. We can't thank you enough for this amazing experience. And a special thanks to Kimberly and Darren too for joining in the fun and making our visit extra special.